Happy Friday, guys. Welcome back. We are about to dive in and dissect the life of a showgirl. Oh my goodness, we have waited for this album. It is officially here, and I'm so freaking pumped to dive into this with all of you guys. I have listened at a high level to the album, like just real quick. I have not been able to dive into these songs or even really think about how I'm feeling about them quite yet, especially having a 2-month-old at home. That's not happening. So I'm super excited to start diving into them with you guys live right now as I'm listening. Also, it's really cool that Taylor Swift dropped the video to The Fate of Ophelia. So I'm super freaking pumped to watch that and dissect that as well. And now just some caveats. I am not a Swiftie. I like Taylor, but I definitely don't follow like the lore of Taylor, I guess you could say. So just keep that in mind. Not a Swiftie, really just love the music, love to dissect her songwriting, production, all of that stuff. So without further ado, let's get into the Life of a Showgirl album with track number 1, The Fate of Ophelia music video. Let's go! It's really pretty. They did a nice job with that.
I heard you calling on the megaphone. You wanna see me all
so we definitely are feeling like that, the pop vibe from Midnight's. Oh, there's Cam. Love it. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay, are those some of the Era Tour dancers? Are those all of them? That's cool. Okay, here's a drop, so we must be in the chorus here. Okay, this is cool. I like this video. I love the idea of this song. Okay, so I love how Taylor can take a phrase like The Fate of Ophelia, take something like that and turn it into pop culture. Not many artists today are able to do that. So I am already really enjoying this, but let's continue.
The eldest daughter of a nobleman, Ophelia lived in fantasy.
It is kind of weird, the breaks. It's kind of like, it's throwing me off a little bit. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. So now we are in the pre-chorus. Drop. Okay, here we go. That extra break there is kind of getting me. Otherwise, I think this is a really well-crafted song. Definitely a jam for sure. Oh, here's the bridge, so Taylor's favorite part, typically.
Drowning and deceived, all because you came for me. Locked inside my memory, and only you possess the key. No longer drowning and deceived, all because you came for me. All that time.
Nice. So now we're in the chorus again. I think those are all the Era Tour dancers, no? I'm definitely getting Midnight's vibe from this song.
You saved my heart from the fate of Ophelia.
Okay, guys. I have so many thoughts on this. Let's talk about it. Let's break this one down. Let's do it. Okay, guys. So first, want to start off with the production value already of this song. And like I said, I've listened to the album at a very high level. I will say the production value of this album as a whole way better than Tortured Poets Department. Lyrics, of course, we're talking about Taylor here. Absolutely love the lyrics. I think the lyrics are very strong. And like I said, she's bringing back the things that, weren't really cool. It's not really mainstream pop culture to talk about the fate of Ophelia, to talk about Shakespeare in general, right? We don't hear that in the other pop stars like Chappell Roan, Sabrina Carpenter, Billie Eilish, right? Like they're not bringing back these things. So I have always appreciated Taylor for doing that. The words she uses, the things that she sings about is definitely just at a whole other level than the other pop stars. I am kind of getting that Midnight's vibe from this and kind of the whole album. I would say the album is kind of like a Midnight's / Lover vibe. It's kind of what I'm getting. But this song is very strong. Lyrically, production value, I'd say overall a really, really strong song. But let's break down the lyrics a little bit. And especially for those of you who are learning how to songwrite, learning how to, structure a really strong pop song, Taylor is one you definitely want to watch. So let's break this down and see how we can all improve our songwriting a little bit. Let's take a look. Okay, so we have a really strong beginning, as we always do with Taylor, right? She knows how to use those one-liners to get people dragged into her songs. Like even the songs that I've listened to of hers, I'm like, I'm not really a fan of. Like I listened to that first line, I'm like, all right, let me just listen to this one more time. Because she just kind of drags you in with her really, really strong songwriting. So we have a really strong first verse here. We have a really strong pre-chorus here as well. And then, of course, like Taylor, this is so true to her. Her choruses, especially as she's gotten later in her career, are much longer. But she knows how to keep the attention of her listeners, and also her listeners are going to be going to pay attention regardless. So, but I would say this chorus is really, really strong, and it kind of reminds me of old school Taylor. Like all that time I sat alone in the tower, you were just honing your powers. Now I can see it all, right? Like all these things kind of remind me of, the Fearless era when she was just kind of becoming a household name. These are the things that she was singing about. Now it's just more of a pop beat instead of that country vibe that she first broke on the scene to. So really much definitely enjoy that. And it's definitely just catchy. I just found myself like, okay, where are we going? And then of course we have a really strong second verse, which is short. So again, for those of you who are learning how to songwrite, if you are going to do a longer chorus, which definitely some songs call for, they 100% do. This song is one of those that is a much longer chorus than your traditional pop song. So if you are going to do a longer chorus, make sure those verses and pre-choruses are nice and tiny. That way you're not taking up a whole ton of time with your listeners, and you can get back to the part that everyone's going to typically want to sing and they're going to remember. I love this line, like just little things like that, like the venom stole her sanity. That's such a cool line. Like what? She is first and foremost a songwriter, and we see that in every single album that she comes out with. So 100% we see it here. Again, we've got a short pre-chorus, super strong, that lifts us into, again, that extra long chorus, but keeps us in the vibe of the song. Now, what I was saying before that was hanging me up is there's this like extra beat in between the lines. So for example, if we're looking at the second verse, the eldest daughter of a noble man, Ophelia lived in a fantasy. Bum, ba-dum. So typically in Taylor songs, and I think this is what's throwing me off, is there's not that extra bum, ba-dum before she like gets into the next line. So if you were kind of noticing that, don't worry, it was throwing me off as well. That's typically not Taylor's vibe, but maybe she's playing around with some different things, but it did kind of slow the momentum down a little bit for me. So just kind of throwing that out there. The bridge, which we all know, if you like Taylor's music, or especially if you're a Swiftie, then you all things Taylor. But I do know from Taylor, she's talked about how she loves writing the bridge, right? And again, just to recap, the bridge is that kind of turnaround in the song where we might see some key changes, we might see some pulling from other ideas of the song. So it's a nice way to, kind of throw those things in that don't really belong in a verse or a pre-chorus or a chorus. So we get to see that here in the bridge. What is cool is we are starting on that G minor. So instead of Taylor starting on a different chord, which we typically see a lot in bridges, she's actually pulling us back to the same chord she starts her verses with. So 'tis locked inside my memory and only you possess the key. So again, this progression is basically the same as the verses. But what's cool, and again, for those of you who are maybe newer to songwriting or songcrafting, if you are going to stick with the same chord progression for your bridge, like Taylor did, pull out some instruments or add in some instruments. So if you want to like build up your bridge like crazy, we saw that a lot in Tortured Poets department. She really built up those bridges. Those bridges were awesome. I live for those bridges. In this particular song though, she pulled back a lot of the instrumentation. So it was her, I think maybe like a cello or violin if I'm recalling correctly. So we really just get this like, oh, we are in a different point of the song. So for people who are not songwriters, are not musicians, it's a key to the listener to say, oh, okay, we're not in a verse, we're not in a pre-chorus, we're definitely not in the chorus. This is another different part of the song. So it's a way to pull your listeners in one more time with something that's just a touch different. So definitely I highly suggest doing bridges in your songs, especially if you're going down, pop, country, any of those more traditional styles of music. It's a great way to pull your listener in. And then we wrap up with the chorus, which we all know, like I said, super catchy. It's a little bit longer, but again, Taylor's in that state of her career where she can do longer choruses. But if you are wanting to do that, like we talked about, just making sure your pre-choruses and your verses are a little bit shorter. Again, if you're looking at radio ready songs, we're looking at 3 minutes, 3:30 seconds, no longer. You will never find, it's very rare to find a 4-minute song on the radio these days. We don't have the attention span for them unless you have a huge following like Taylor Swift. So I don't know, guys. I really like this song. I think it's a great, strong start to the song, a great start to the album. Like I said, we are not seeing this type of writing. We're not seeing these types of kind of callbacks to Shakespearean times with other pop stars. So I very much applaud Taylor for doing that and making people open up their Shakespeare, the poems and all of the things to re-educate ourselves. I really have always enjoyed that she's done that. So really love this song. I think it's a really strong song, like I said, lyrically, production value, and I'm super excited to dissect the other ones with you guys. But tell me, what do you guys think in the comments? Are we liking the album? I feel like every time I go online, it's like it's split 50-50. So I'm excited to dissect the other songs. I know I've seen that there's some other ones that might not be quite like this, so I'm excited to dissect the other ones with you guys. But so far, I think this is a really strong start to the album. But of course, let me know what you're thinking so far. We are going track by track with the Life of a Showgirl album. So every single Friday, 6 a.m. Eastern time, I'll be releasing a reaction video to each song off this album. And of course, if you want to see the reactions early, the behind the scenes of me messing up, the amount of takes it takes to record these videos, make sure you pop over to my Patreon, patreon.com/JeanetteMusic. And of course, if you want to hear in more detail of what I think about the album, if you want to come join for music streams, I stream on Twitch now every Sunday in the afternoon. I can't quite give an exact time, but it's definitely Sunday afternoons. With a 2-month-old, it's a little hard to know what she's going to need in the afternoons. It can get a little crazy. But make sure you join Sundays. It's always a great time over there. And I also will be doing live reactions as well over there. So make sure you keep an eye on that. And you can also join my Discord if you want to keep an eye on all the things that I've been up to and will continue to be up to for the rest of the year. Until then, guys, I cannot wait to see you. Like I said, every Friday, dropping a new video. So I will see you all next Friday for the next video. I shall see you all soon. Bye, guys!